because we're so finite, we don't think through that lens of there is a reason behind this. This reason may not be a fun reason. All right, so I've hit my funny bone right somewhere over there.
I'll dial 911.
We're talking about healing may be delayed today. We're talking about the idea of, Jesus healed many people in the Bible. Probably many of them wanted to be healed faster than Jesus showed up. But talking about what we do in the meantime and how we put faith in that there's a plan, there's a reason, and how we can kind of use that health issue, diagnosis, or whatever to either glorify Him or galvanize our faith.
Yeah. Having passed many kidney stones.
I need healing, and heal me now.
Oh, my goodness. Talk about... it's easier to, discuss delayed healing now when, we're not in any pain.
Right, exactly.
When you're on the floor in agony, you're a little bit less patient. I know I am about the healing, right? And so I do think, look at Paul. Paul asked 3 times.
Yeah.
I don't think he would have asked 3 times if something wasn't wrong.
Sure.
One of the episodes of The Chosen, he was talking to James, and James had, I think, a limp. And instead of healing him, because he was sending them out to heal people, start to spread the message kind of thing, and he said, yes, I could heal you. He said, but wouldn't it be more impactful that a person in your condition could heal others?
Yeah.
And that's not something anybody wants to hear.
Yeah.
Right? You have a person who can heal you like that. Them saying, let's just wait for a greater purpose. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And so here on Earth, when we're kind of at the drugstore counter or getting the test results or whatever, we notice that doctors have limits and God doesn't.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we approach it, healing or our physical health that way.
No, I mean, I'm reminded of the story about the blind man. The disciples were all talking about, who sinned in that scenario, right? Was it the man? Was it the man's parents? And Jesus is like, no, he was born blind so that he may glorify God. And I think we don't like that answer.
40 years he was at the edge of that pool.
Yeah.
So look, TJ, I'm going to have you born, and you have this, issue. But I'm going to come along, I'm going to heal you and use that moment to glorify my name and show other people around you what's going on. Okay, so it's going to be a week or two.
Next Tuesday.
Tomorrow at 11. No, it's been about 40 years after you're born. What?
Yeah.
Look at Joseph. I mean, he was in the prison for a couple of years, 2-3 years. God's time's not our time.
Yeah.
And holy cow, if you're impatient, that 1 hour is going to feel like a year. And if you're going through something, it could feel like 10 years. Yeah,
I mean, I often see, so Heather has gone through many of health issues over the last couple of years. A lot of tests done. She has PCOS, endometriosis, you name it, she probably has some version of it.
Right.
But what's always interesting to me on kind of after knowing the names of all these things plaguing her is how many people also deal with this stuff.
Sure.
It's kind of like you always talk about miscarriage, bringing that up, and how many other people have also gone through some level of that or something like that or the same thing. And how often in the beginning, it's always hard because you almost start to look at it and turn why me, God? What did I do?
Sure.
I think that's just human nature. We like cause and effect.
Yeah.
And we just like, okay, so what did I do? Was it that time that I stole the candy bar in the gas station? Is that why we're suffering now?
Oh, I stood here. Okay, great. So I won't stand there next time.
Right.
That way I'm good for anything in the future.
Yeah, we like our little guardrails kind of thing. And most of the time that's not the case. It's for, God has a plan to glorify him through these events and things going on.
Sure.
And it's not for us to know as humans. And having been through all these tests and Heather's health problems and stuff, and using that to talk to other people going through it, and giving them advice, or having me and Heather get closer because of that, closer to our faith and each other. I think sometimes it's easy to say that on the other side of the storm,
100%.
but it does help me now thinking anything that has come since then. I'm like, okay, there's a reason behind this. I can't see that right now. That's fine, but I need to know that it's all in God's hands anyway.
Sure. If you could take a step back, I'm totally talking to me, like, okay, TJ, says this thing coming. Let's just make it palatable. It's going to last a week. At the end of that week, it's going to be a blessing. So if you just hold on into that, it's probably be a blessing. It won't always be a trial. And the blessing may be just that you're healed, or that moment is gone. Right. That may be the blessing.
The thorn's been removed,
right,
or whatever.
Right. That's me talking to TJ, trying to get me to say that seventh day of like, the blessing's coming. The first day, TJ, is usually always, man, what's going on? Like, remember, trying to get to the seventh day.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm in the first day and I don't like it. And so you can kind of see that we're so finite, so temporal, so human, almost impossible to have an eternal perspective.
Look at the Israelites. I mean, Israelites were actively walking to the promised land that God had said, hey, this place is overflowing with milk and honey. We just gotta get there. We gotta get there. And they immediately started complaining. Immediately, they're like, "Well, it was better when I was a slave. They fed us meat and stuff, or there's not enough graves back in Egypt. You got to take us out here to kill us." And it's like, talk about impatient. I mean, Lord says his place that he's taking you to, and you're like, "I'm going to complain the whole way there." So much so, the Lord's like, "You know what? None of y'all generation is going to see it now. Congratulations."
And they didn't have the Bible to look at and read, to seek that wisdom, to get that perspective. We do.
Yeah.
TJ closes his Bible, still focuses on day one of the problem instead of, okay, blessings coming, don't worry about it.
Right.
A diagnosis may define your struggle, but it doesn't define your destiny, your eternal position. And God's power isn't stopped by a medical chart, a test result. Healing is physical, emotional, and spiritual, and we need to trust him with all of that, all parts of that.
Well, and I think we like doing these little tests of like, well, Lord, if you're real, you would heal me of my cancer or that kind of stuff.
Right.
We only attribute the success to, okay, now that I'm healed, the Lord's real. Yep, that's right. That's how that works. Instead of the idea of like, well, maybe the Lord is putting you through this season of whatever to prepare you for something else harder coming down the line, or someone that you need to witness to that's also gone through this down the line. I don't think we don't, because we're so finite, we don't think through that lens of there's a reason behind this. This reason may not be a fun reason. It may not be that you've been through this medical detriment and something's happened to you, and you will now relive this moment every time you witness to someone, because that's how you can connect to somebody. Sure. It's not a fun thing, but I think we just go, bad thing. I don't like bad thing. I'm going to pray for the Lord to remove this. And then when he doesn't, or it's not fast enough, I'm going to be upset about it.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of people recently pass away from cancer, and when they got diagnosed, one handled it tremendously different. I mean, death staring you in the face, you get that 1,000-yard gaze, and you may not always keep your eye on Christ. But there are some that when they get that time period, there was just no inkling that they were preparing themselves to meet their Savior. And they passed in that same regard. And I don't know, it's just very, for an unbeliever, I get that. I don't expect that from someone who's an unbeliever, that you want to believe in crystals or science only, right? Just like, if it can't be proven, I don't want to believe in it. I get it. I'm a fan of science too. I'm not ignorant that I don't believe in science, just that I'm not going to base my eternal hope in science only. And so it's really interesting if, you're given X amount of time, what do you do with that time? If it's delayed, what do you do with that time period that's been delayed? And unfortunately, I hate when they do it, the cancer situations, normally you ask, how much time do I have? That's a natural question.
Sure.
And you hate the answer. It's never going to be enough.
Yeah.
22 months, 8 years, whatever it is, right? Now it's like, well, how do I spend that time? And I don't know if everybody spends that time when the healing is delayed, to the glory of God.
Right. Well, we become, I think, a little more selfish in those moments of like, well, I'm going to kind of throw a pity party here because I'm upset about it. And rightfully so.
Yeah.
And, at the end of the day, we're human. We have emotions that run wild with these moments.
Sure.
But I think we need to keep in mind that we are ambassadors for Christ in these moments, that how we handle delayed healing or bad news reflects our trust in God. You know, like if you get bad health news, yes, that's awful. But, I've known many people who have had bad diagnoses like that and smiles through because they're like, doesn't matter to me. I know where I'm going. So I'm just going to seem a little faster. That's all. So I think it's a morbid topic, but I do think it's important to keep in mind that at the end, this is all very temporary and He is forever.
Yeah, and I think that if you watch anything of the news, in any regard, you will only see stabbings and shootings and deaths and accidents and this and that. And so you better be right with God, because you're not guaranteed your next breath.
Sure. I mean, we're talking right now about like medical healing, but realistically, as soon as you step out your front door, you're not guaranteed another second after that. I mean, I saw there was an accident right outside my neighborhood the other day. A car had flipped over. I don't know if the person was okay. I think it had kind of been cleared up, everything. Like the ambulance had already passed and all that. But that's less than 4 minutes out my front door if I'm walking it. I mean, there's nothing to guarantee that these tragic events are, a diagnosis from a doctor or a long-term solution, a long-term thing. So, it's something to keep in mind, that we should probably always just spend time daily refocusing on Christ.
Exactly. Being the Word daily covers a multitude of problems.
Sure.
And so, even in sickness, resurrection power can live in you. Whether you're having a bad moment, you're being diagnosed with something, you're sick, whatever it is, if you're a believer, take heart. And if you're not a believer, you need to reevaluate your eternal destination. And so, this is a heavy topic, I know. Sorry about that, guys. But if you want to check out some of this content and maybe a little bit lighter topic, visit uncommon.org. We guarantee our next podcast won't be this heavy.
Yes.
But you can see that sometimes we do need to have the serious conversation.
Sure.
And so I want to thank our sponsor, Wilson Technology Group, and Robbie and his team have always been so faithful. And also our donors as well. We have a few, when I say few, I mean few consistent donors. And then we have a group of members that are also faithful, that do annual, they do monthly, they've done lifetime when it was available. And so I want to thank them as well. And so if you get a chance, check out uncommon.org and just see if our content speaks to you. It's not always on such a heavy topic. Sometimes it's just communication or family or whatever.
Yep.
So guaranteed a better topic next time. Joshua, hit him with it.
If you're going to be something, be uncommon.